Chapter 61:48. Only Peter is packing it up. Apart from old shelves and display cabinets, there are no products for sale. Based on this, it will take at least a month or two to get back on track. Time to prepare slowly. Charlie did not go in to disturb him, but went to a tea house not far away diagonally across the street. He found a seat with a good view on the second floor and sat down. He ordered a pot of Billy O Tune and drank while waiting in his seat. What bad ideas are the father-in-law and this BA5 tard Irvin harboring? At 6:30 in the afternoon, it was getting dark. A hurried figure trotted all the way into the antique street. This person went straight to the antique shop, which is at the core of the street. At this time, the manager of the antique shop, Manager Chen, was working at the store with a few clerks. There were a few individual customers wandering around in the store. Manager Chen left it to the other clerks to deal with, while he was anxiously waiting for the boy sent by Irvin. A few minutes later, a figure rushed in. As soon as he entered the door, he couldn't wait to ask, "Is the boss here? Do you collect antiques in our store?" "Collect them, collect them." Manager Chen immediately greeted him enthusiastically and asked, "I wonder what you plan to sell?" The man looked around, then took out something wrapped in red silk from his arms, and then he carefully opened one of the corners, revealing a gap, letting Manager Chen see a small part of it. Then quickly covered it again, and whispered, "This is a good thing, I don't know if you have the strength to take it." Manager Chen said with a smile, "Look at you, it is said that in the whole city, if there is something that our antique shop cannot take, then no one can take it from you." As he spoke, he said with a profound look on his face, "What you just showed me, I only saw a little bit of it, it seems to be a base. If I read it correctly, judging from my personal experience, it should be something from the Ming dynasty. So, please move to the VIP room, and we can discuss it in detail there. You can let me take a closer look at the thing and give you a real price." The man said hurriedly, "Okay. Hurry up." Manager Chen invited him to the VIP room at the back and closed the door. Only the two of them were left inside. Originally, there were no surveillance cameras in the VIP room. Ever since Jacob hit the vase, Warnier had people install surveillance cameras in obvious locations. The man came in and saw that there was a surveillance camera in the room, so he quickly asked, "Why are you recording here? I can't let people outside know about my coming here." Manager Chen knew very well that these conversations were actually arranged script, so he smiled and said, "Don't worry about this, this is our internal security camera. It is mainly used to keep a piece of evidence in case anyone has any disputes or objections about things. Those who work in our industry have to be careful. If you take a piece of porcelain that is inherently defective and drop it here on purpose, and say we broke it, we will be asked to compensate according to the normal market price. If there is no monitoring, there is nothing we can do. Just makes sense, right?" The man waved his hands helplessly and said, Okay, I'm here to sell things, not to trick people. You should take a look at the things first, and if they work, give me a price as soon as possible." After that, he handed the thing wrapped in red silk to Manager Chen's hand. Manager Chen took the thing and looked at the Buddha statue and its matching base carefully. Then he smiled and said to the man, "Brother, are you in a hurry to get rid of this thing?" "Yes." The man nodded and said, "As long as the price if it's suitable, we can make a move now." Manager Chen smiled thoughtfully and asked him, "What price are you going to quote for this thing?" The man held out 5 fingers, 500,000. 500,000? Manager Chen laughed and said, "This thing looks like a bronze Buddha from the Xuanda period of the Ming dynasty. The craftsmanship and shape are very good. If it goes to auction, it can sell for at least 1 or 2 million. Find a strong one like the antique shop. If you sell it on consignment in an antique store, you can sell it for at least 1 million. Why are you selling it for 500,000? The man sighed, "To be honest, this thing belongs to our old man, who just died this afternoon. He left all the antiques in the house to my eldest brother in his will. I thought that the old man was so partial, so I had to get something for myself. So I quietly took it out and wanted to sell it quickly. If you want to cash it out, you don't have to tell me whether it's worth 1 million or 2 million. Or even 3 or 5 million. I'm not greedy. If you give me 500,000, this thing is yours. Manager Chen asked him back, since your old man has made a will and left things to your elder brother, and you take them out quietly, it is theft, and then this thing is stolen property. Do you think I dare to accept it? He immediately said, our old man has a lot of things, and this is just one of them. Moreover, my eldest brother doesn't know anything about antiques. He doesn't even know that such a thing exists or how much it is worth. Besides, if this thing is upright, it's impossible for me to only ask for 500,000 yuan. You know many rich people in this business. If you can find a rich person to spend more than 1 million yuan to buy it, then you will make dozens or even millions. After that, he said with a pained look on his face. I've made the situation very clear to you, so I won't argue with you anymore. I'll drop another 100,000. If you can take it, I'll give you 400,000. I can't take it, I'll look for someone else to look at it. Manager Chen sneered disdainfully and said, oh brother, your acting skills are indeed good, and your story is pretty good, but you think I am the wrong person. How can a person be the general manager of the antique shop and still not see your tricks? The man's expression flashed with panic and he quickly said, what tricks can I do to sell things sincerely? If you want, you can. If you don't want it, just give it back to me, or I won't sell it to you at worst. Manager Chen smiled contemptuously and said, your Buddha statue is indeed good, the shape and workmanship are very good, but the leather case looks artificially aged. In my opinion, although this thing is not a modern handicraft, it is not too old. It is the end of the late Qing dynasty at the earliest, and maybe it is something from the early Republic of China. But there is one thing to say, this base of yours is really an old object with a large door from the Xuande period of the Ming dynasty. Unfortunately, it's just a base. Without the statue, the base is not worth much. It's only worth a few tens of thousands of yuan. So I'll take a look at this thing of yours. At most, it's only worth 70,000 to 80,000 yuan, and selling it to me for 500,000 yuan made it look like you were giving me a big leak. Aren't you treating me like a fool? The man suddenly panicked and said quickly, how did you see this? It's a joke. Manager Chen said arrogantly. I've been fooling around for so many years if I can't even see your little tricks. Wouldn't those years of wandering around be in vain? After that, he threw the things back to the other party and said coldly, brother, if you want to trick me, you are still too young. Go back and practice hard for a few more years. The man took the things and said nervously and frightenedly, I'm sorry, boss, I'm just a young man who doesn't know the truth, and I'm trying to do everything in front of you. Please don't be as evil as a BA5 tard like me. Manager Chen waved his hands in disgust. Okay, take your things and get out. Hey! The man hurriedly put the things in his arms and ran away from the door without looking back. Manager Chen turned his back to the camera with a secretly happy face and sighed in his heart. Dear men, it turns out this is the feeling of relying on technology to show off. Although I know it is an act, it is really fun. Thinking of this, he got up like the main character of the drama, looked at the direction in which the man was escaping, and sneered. There is no antique liar smarter than Manager Chen to fool me. After that, he closed the door of the VIP room and returned to the lobby. After the man escaped from the antique shop, he walked around the antique street with his things. At this time, Peter was just about to close his shop. He planned to go to the supermarket to purchase some daily necessities and arrange the second floor where he lived. The man just happened to sneak up to the door of his store. He looked up and saw Peter. Looking at him, he lowered his voice and asked mysteriously, "Boss, are you collecting old things here?"